Matt Stepp, Dave Campbell's Texas football, back here at the Cy Fair West 7-on-7 state qualifying tournament. Here with the head coach of the Cy Ranch Mustangs, our good friend, Coach Will Blaylock. And, Coach, appreciate you taking a few minutes while your kids are out here competing to chat with us.
No problem, man. Anytime.
All right, first off, Coach, now let's talk about how the offseason this spring has gone. Because last year you were hired, I think, in June.
May 26th was my start date last year.
So you had a normal offseason this offseason. You got it, well, as normal as an offseason can be, but you weren't drinking from a fire hose. How much more did you guys get accomplished this offseason? How nice was it to just have normalcy in your offseason?
It was a blessing, getting everybody used to how we want to do things from once the playoffs are over with, to get them in the weight room and really putting in our culture, the hard work, the discipline, kind of stripping it down to the bare minimum and saying, okay, we're going to build this thing not from scratch because we had a foundation, but, really our emphasis was the weight room for 8-9 straight weeks. We were in the weight room. Mm-hmm. We needed to get stronger. A lot more kids ran track. We pushed that on them, and we starting to see the results of it, toward the end of the spring. But kids bought in. They fought hard. Our numbers are really good. We only lost one coach who got a promotion, so I'm happy for him. But so the kids are locked in right now. They know what we expect out of them, and should have a pretty good showing.
All right, now I guess the biggest thing, you're out here today competing. I know you want to watch your kids compete, but you've actually got some young guys out here competing. You got a few guys that were a little nicked up during spring ball. When you're watching young guys try to step up and compete against other varsity competition, what are you looking to watch from your guys?
The main thing is just effort, and then seeing, if what they learn from us, during the meetings and during all that time in the spring, if they're still holding and retaining it, because some of those young guys, we all know, gonna have to step up. We've been in battles before where you got to call that sophomore up week 4 or 5, and he's getting these reps versus guys. We're playing Hightower right now. That is a prominent program. Coach Anthony does a great job down there. Coach Oji with South Springs. Out here at Creek, all these guys are athletic. They're all tested. So if you can put a young guy in there, if he can hold his own, then you already know what the future's gonna hold.
Mm-hmm. Now, looking at your ball club and looking ahead, I think you guys have some expectations in 2025 because of the good year you had last year. You guys bring a lot of talented guys back. You got some guys that are getting recruited. Now you have some expectations. How do you handle that expectations and having a target on your back, or are you more like this is a faceless opponent? Look at us, we got the interview still going. That wind is going today. Is it more about a faceless opponent, or is it just about, hey, we got to handle these expectations. We got a target on the back, and we got to focus on ourselves.
Oh man, we always feel like we got a target. Hold on one second. Hey B.
This interview is off the rails. That's all right though. We're not gonna edit this out. So
yeah, sorry about that. No, we always feel like we got a target on our back. We understand what the Cy Ranch name means, and we also understand that we got to show up and play every week. We tell our kids, when we show up, we're the show. What the teams want to beat you, what they want to do, they're coming to see us. So you got to perform. Now that we've done this hard work, we've been in the weight room. All that, now you got to go show it. Kids getting recruited, kids getting offers. That's great. That's a blessing. That's what you want to help them do. But at the same time, okay, now it's time to go show that's warranted.
And in 16-6A, there's always a lot of good football teams. Week in and week out, it's a grind. It was your first year in the district. I know you saw that firsthand. Right?
There's no off. I mean, South Park, is trying to turn that thing around. They played us like it was a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. You got Bridgeland, who's the king of the hill until somebody knocks him off. Coach Fagan is doing a great job with South Springs playoff team.
I was at your game against Woods last year. Yeah. That was a knockdown drag out.
You got your $8 worth if you paid to go to that game.
Yeah.
Now that they got a new staff over there, and he's going to instill his culture. So we know every week is a dogfight. There are no gimmies, and we have to prepare for that.
All right, final question for you. You're back in the Houston area. You were here as an assistant. Now you're here as a head coach. You found any good eating spots nearby? Any recommendations for me?
Man, there's a new Piata Italian street food on Fry Road. It's one of my new spots. Similar to Chipotle, but with Italian food.
Okay.
It's awesome. There's a food truck on Barker Cypress right in front of the Walmart neighborhood. Got some of the best burrito tacos I've ever had.
Okay. There you have it. Coach Blaylock, a fan of burrito tacos and a fan of the Cy Ranch Mustangs. Coach, enjoy watching your kids compete. Appreciate what you do.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Coach.